Brazil is the best country. Objectively speaking, of course. They celebrate Christmas in June with fireworks. Okay, maybe not Christmas, maybe only half Christmas. The Catholic Church celebrates the Nativity of St. John the Baptist on June 24th. Now, here in northern Brazil, São João is a part, it's like amalgamated with the larger Festa Junina, which is analogous to the midsummer in the northern hemisphere. In the US, people decorate for the holiday season with colorful lights and trees and Santa stuff, but here they use colorful flags and bonfires, which, why have light bulbs when you can just have an open flame? There are traditional foods, of course, but I didn't notice any foods typical of São João or Festa Junina that weren't just the typical local foods, which are delicious, but like they're not comida Joãozinho. But you didn't click this thumbnail for a tier list of saints' birthdays. You clicked for the fireworks. I had known for months that it was going to be illegal. Of course it's illegal. Guerra de Espadas translates as sword fight. That's gotta be illegal. The cops did show up multiple times to break up the party, but it seemed more like a song and dance, more like a facade than law enforcement actually forcing their law. The first night I was there, I didn't partake in any sword throwing because I was very sleep deprived. I had gone to a party the night before and I had taken mushrooms and I didn't sleep. So I got there and I was just caffeinated and all these explosives are flying around. This guy tried to hand me one of the fireworks and I was like, no. And then the morning after, I was so happy with my abstinence because on the news, I saw that multiple people had lost fingers. They explode, they're explosives. And the whole point of the game, I actually don't understand what the point of the game was, but guys would like pick up the explosive as it was going off, as the firework was firing. They would pick it up to throw it. And sometimes it would explode in their hands. All of the espadas made a shower of sparks. That was the primary purpose of the espadas. But some of them also exploded at the end. And I wondered if they were intended to explode at the end or if they were just poorly fabricated because it's illegal. So the people have to fabricate the espadas in their own homes. Homemade explosives. This is the best country. I found that there's actually two kinds of espadas. Espadas and busca-pés. Now, busca-pé translates directly as feet finder. Wikipedia translates the name as bottle rocket. That makes you think of like a little tiny thing that like... The name derives from how they light them and then throw them on the ground. And then it like around on the ground around the party through people's feet and then explodes. They're all self-propelled as well. They're rockets. They're self-contained rocket-propelled explosives. A guy or a woman will light the internal fuse with a cigarette or a already lit espada, which is the firework equivalent of chain smoking. It'll like crash and fly around, and sometimes it comes off the air and it goes through the air like a rocket, and it's so absurd. My Portuguese teacher told me that the objective of the game was to
like run through the espadas without getting burnt down the street until you arrive at the bonfire, and then you jump over the bonfire, and if you jump over the bonfire without getting burnt by any of the espadas, then your dreams or your wishes will come true.
But I didn't see any bonfires in the places that they were throwing espadas. What I did see in those streets that had espadas was that the bars and the restaurants and the houses had metal mesh fences, really similar to chain link fence, but not as thick, not as strong. Simply to keep the explosives out of the bar and restaurant. But the sparks would still fly in, the smoke was still coming. Next year, I'm definitely gonna bring a particle respirator.